Hello, friends. It's Chop. This country had 2 years of Ronald fucking Reagan. 2 terms. 2 terms of Ronald fucking Reagan. 2 terms of George W. Bush and the war on terror and the war in Iraq. Thank you, Joe Biden. So like, yeah, just don't be blackmailed by this. Just like, don't allow yourself to be cowed by what is an instrument of ideological discipline to get you to not trust your instincts about what you want and who is best for this country. And
a vote for Biden is a vote for Trump.
Absolutely.
Just respond with that. Like, nope, he'll lose. He'll lose to Trump.
And if that's the case, we told you in 2016, we told you again. Mm-hmm. We tried to give you every chance not to do this to yourself. But, I mean, I think we're basically seeing honestly, I think the Democrats' real game here is 2024. I mean, they'd be happy to win the election now, but they would rather lose than have Bernie win.
Absolutely, they would rather lose.
These are the same people that are telling you it's your fault those kids are in cages.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Obama built those fucking cages, and we tried to stop you from nominating Hillary Clinton last time. It's your fucking fault. So don't fucking try to scold or blackmail me.
You're the one that got him elected.
Yeah. You did it. You did this. That's on you.
I'm thinking about this. So the line among established Democrats is the reason they don't like Bernie has nothing to do with the fact that his policies threaten the interests of their donor base and actual bosses, but because he can't win, and that's what they care about. If that were true, if they really do think, I mean, obviously it's both of those things, but their public one is he can't win. If they really think he can't win, if they actually think he can't win, in addition to thinking he's a threat to their party, then they would kind of just like let him get the nomination and then lose. And then that's it. That's the end of the whole thing. And, you get to, you don't have to talk about McGovern anymore. You can talk about Bernie and like put the left on its back foot for another 40 years.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think that the fact that they're willing to do this, that they've talked openly about giving the nomination to somebody who didn't get the most delegates or votes at the convention, splitting the party in at least the short term and guaranteeing a loss, means that they don't, even at the highest levels, truly think he would lose.
Yeah.
And more important than that,
they stop Bernie. Why? What are they trying to stop?
Yeah.
Wouldn't they just play long game, let him lose?
Exactly. And like they could even help him lose. They could do rat fucking and they could like sabotage him, which they would if he got the nomination. But clearly they don't think that they're good enough at that either to ensure that he would lose to put the risk of him getting the nomination, which really does show you just how fucking scared of him they are and how much power he really could in a very short time be able to accrue and direct.
And like that power, it just comes from like Amber, like what you said, like that he is offering things that we all need and deserve. Mm-hmm. And he's saying like, we can have this. You deserve this. You deserve the safety and security of health insurance, of an education, of a roof over your head. And sadly, there's a good chunk of the Democratic Party who just basically is willing to say, we don't want anything better. Mm-hmm. We either you don't deserve it or we don't even want it.
It's not a party.
We don't even want anything to change. We just want a Democrat in the White House.
It's not a party. It's not a party. It's a machine of elites or whatever. But it's also a very bad machine.
Terrible machine.
It's
one of the worst.
Functioning constantly.
It's the Democratic Party might be. People talk about how the Republican Party is like this monstrous tuber of like vile authoritarianism and everything. And of course it is. But the reason that they're in power is because of the Democratic Party.
Yes. They represent like 30% of the country.
Who is
at
the
least
worst?
Have party discipline.
But they're also, as everybody keeps pointing out and keeps yelling about, they are a minority view.
Yes.
And yet they run everything. And that's because they are running against Democrats.
Yeah, well, they have fucking party discipline. Remember all those never Trumpers? Remember how they shut the fuck up and got in line?
Yeah.
Well, that's because they have a unified interest. They have a unified interest at the top. The Democrats don't. And then when those splits become more severe, they just collapse because they have no way of resolving the conflict.
No, they are a minority view that is allowed to control every lever of power in this country because the Democrats let them.
Yeah.
And the Democrats are not just, they're just, it's a combination of like, they're too fucking weak and incompetent to beat them, but it's also that they're complicit in it.
Of course.
They're complicit in it. They are accomplices in the same goal that serves the same interests.
I mean, at the base,
Republicans are scum, and the Democrats are dumb scum.
and they're even more corrupt and cynical scum, because at least the Republicans, for the most part, especially now with like the new generation of post Tea Party, post Trump true believers in Congress, a lot of them like really believe all that shit. Democrats, there's almost not, there are a handful of elected Democrats who actually believe anything they say to their rube fucking supporters about wanting to get health care or any fucking other thing. They're literally lying because their job is to provide a venting point and a sense of pseudo control to people who just watch as their lives get worse and worse at the direct result of government policy.
Their job is to justify the existence of a party, which's job is to justify the existence of a party, whose job is to. It's just a fucking circular logic.
And that's why they need the Republicans.
Their job is to carry out the policies of capital.
Yes.
And all of this is to disguise that imperative. And that's why the Democratic Party must be taken over or destroyed. And like even in the worst case scenario, they actually take it from Bernie. Guess what? You don't get to just black pill and go home then either, because then the job is to destroy the fucking Democrats.
Yeah. And
it'll be a party either way.
Yeah. You get to be Joker-fied. That's what matters. And it's so fun. Just look at Liz. She's having a great time.
She's having a great time. Well, maybe not right now.
No, not right now.
Like, I'm very tired, but we're in the running.
Yeah.
And we got to keep running.
Yep.
And no wild-eyed triumphalism, but also no gloom and doom, because shut the fuck up. That's for babies.
Mm-hmm.
And you might lose.
Yeah.
Be brave. I've lost over and over and over again, and I keep doing it. Like, sorry, that's just the history of the left. We lose more times than we win.
Get that fucking boulder up the goddamn hill.
But this is, again, the biggest opportunity I've had in my lifetime, and the window for success is wider and wider. I can't believe how close we are.
Basically a tie in delegates after Super Tuesday with more than half of the delegates still to be allocated, I believe.
Well, more than half.
More than half.
I mean, my Christ, I saw an analysis that said that if Bernie beats Biden collectively by 3 points in the rest of the states, he will win. He will go in. And
also keep in mind that the states that this primary are going to move to now are way, way better for Bernie Sanders than like the deep South states that Biden racked up.
Yeah. We're going to make him.
Like we're talking about the upper Midwest. Michigan is the next one.
Yeah.
I expect Bernie to do strongly there, but like just keep at it. I'll just last thing I'll say is when I started, the real is today, right now, and if you're a Sanders supporter or you're feeling down in the dumps or you feel like you've taken a hit, then this is the test. Can you take the fucking hit and keep fighting?
Indeed.
We've been on the road for about 68 weeks now, and as this election tour comes to a close, I just want to reflect on just far, far too many talented, diligent people that we've met on the campaign trail in Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and all throughout California. Many people who have been at this, have been organizing for months now. People who told us that they listened to something we said on this show and they just immediately packed up the car and they drove to Iowa to canvass in, 15-degree weather. And in Iowa and New Hampshire and Nevada and in California, they did their jobs. They delivered. They're the reason why we are in this. If it hadn't been for everyone chipping in their own way, doing what they can, even if that's not very much, if it weren't for that, we would not be here. As close as those early states have been and as tough as Super Tuesday was. And right now, everyone's contribution is important everywhere they are. Wherever you're listening to this from, if it's in the continental United States, Hawaii, Alaska, or one of our wonderful, wonderful territories that we love so much.
Shout out the Marianas Islands.
We love them, folks.
Know that the campaign is coming to your neighborhood and that it matters
exponentially more.
Exponentially more that you do something in your neighborhood, that you even if you can just walk your block once, or you can talk to a few of your neighbors or your family members, to just start snagging some votes for Bernie Sanders. And now that it is a week by week delegate fight, I want to just give you a little preview of what's coming up. In 6 days, the campaign goes to, let me see if I got this at the top of the dome, Idaho, North Dakota, Washington, and Michigan, 4 states that Bernie Sanders won in 2016, as well as Mississippi and Missouri, 2 states that Bernie Sanders lost in 2016. And these are going to be important states. Everyone is going to look to see that Bernie Sanders can win in Michigan again. Missouri, Washington, 2 delegate-rich states that, could stand to be pretty close this time around. If you're there or you're near there, pitch in. Even in a place like Mississippi, which no one expects Bernie Sanders to win, at this point, it's not just about technically getting the most votes in a state,
Right.
so that you can, paint that state whatever color that the networks use. It's about getting delegates. And if there's a difference between Bernie Sanders getting, say, 25% in Mississippi and 35% in Mississippi, that difference means delegates.
Yep.
And every delegate that you take away from Joe Biden is a delegate that you give to Bernie Sanders. So no matter where you are, even if it's tough territory, go out there and do something. That's my message.
Let's do it.
Also,
Let's
thank
do
you.
it.
Let's get that
Yes,
bread.
thank you.
Yeah,
Things
thank you
you
to,
do.
honestly, every single person who performed with us on this tour, who canvassed with us on tour, everyone who came to see us at a live show on tour, everyone who simply just introduced themselves or said kind words about listening to the show and what it's meant to you.